Hello folks, time for another video and shave. Well, today's an interesting one. If you saw my thumbnail, you're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, normally I put up the product I'm shaving with as my thumbnail, but I kind of ruined the label on this soap. You can see it's kind of all gross. That's because I bought this soap a few years back, I think like 3 years ago. And it was just like a little company I saw on Etsy. And I figured, they had a lot of good scents. And actually, let me have a container here. I have all my like hard soaps and my two original ones from this company. Let me just dig them out here. These labels are actually in good shape. You'll see it right there. From Red Leaf. It's actually Red Leaf Bath or Body and Bath, or Bath and Body, or something like that. On Nasty, they also have a regular website. And my original 2 cents were these 2 cents, which was like a pipe tobacco, which is this one. It's in a cube. And this is the Beach. And they're in this like cube, which I thought was glycerin. But until I talked to the owner of the company, I believe his name was Eric from Seattle, they're actually coconut oil based. There's glycerin in them also, but they're basically coconut oil. And when I ran across that looking for the Williams soap the other day, I was like, oh, I haven't used this in like years, but it's been like 3 years, I think. So I remember he sent me this soap, and I know you can't see it, but it's called High Octane. And I'll pop up the ingredients now. Boom. You can scope out the ingredients, really good ingredients. This is an interesting scent. It has that fuel. I know it probably comes from the tea tree oil that's in it, but this totally reminds me of back in the 90s. I was really into remote-controlled helicopters and remote-controlled RC cars that ran off of fuel, not electric, but just gasoline. Not gasoline, but RC nitro fuel. Kind of reminds me of that scent. Kind of interesting. It's in a nice like puck like that, you'll see. And I figured, yeah, you know what? They're still in business because I went on their Etsy page last night, so they're still around, still make this. My only regret is I didn't pick up the matching splash for this because I do like this scent. It is very intriguing. So I ruined that label, by the way, because look how nasty that guy got that label. From actually, back then I used to lather up in the containers. That's why I don't anymore. I'd rather just scrape some off and put it in a bowl. And let the bowl do all the hard work there. And yeah, look at that. Nice. Nice. And I'm using the BrushCraft, what I call the sea glass. Nice. And I whipped it up in the Captain's Choice bowl. Very nice lather. Has that awesome, just an awesome scent. I know your thumb, you're probably like, is he really shaving with some kind of jet fuel? But no, it's High Octane, which I'm going to pop up the scent profile right from the website. Boom. You can scope that out too. And we're using the Twig by Leaf today. And blade in there is the Crown half blade. So yeah, let's go with some leaf. Red Leaf, I'm sorry, Red Leaf. Red Leaf, I believe it's Red Leaf Bath and Body. I just call it Red Leaf. Nothing to do with Leaf Shaving, the razor company. All right, High Octane. So if you like, not cryogen, but if you like Midnight Stag from Chisel Face, it kind of has that same vibe going on. That fuel. So that's why I picked the thumbnail of a jet getting refueled. So, Really good ingredients, really affordable. I will leave the link to his Etsy page down below. They make a lot of good scents. They make like I said, I have the Beach, I have pipe tobacco, which is an awesome scent. It's a problem. I buy these soaps and I have so many soaps. I mean, I have, over 280 soaps, so it's like, it's hard sometimes for me to remember scent profiles, but like I says, I keep this in a container with the same soaps. I kind of keep all my like hard, like, triple milled kind of soaps The hard soaps like the Mitchell's Wool Fat and the Williams Mug Soap like that in the same container, and this was in there, and I said, hey, I haven't used this in years. Looked up my YouTube videos, and I went to the Etsy page there where I bought it from, and it's still there. So I said, hey, might as well use it. All right. Twig by Leaf. Crown Half Blade. And High Octane from Red Leaf. Like I said, they do also make a matching splash. I did not pick that up. I don't know why. That was also at a great price. I got something though for after the shave. That'll be okay. Very awesome scent. Very masculine. It's not off-putting at all to me. My wife saw it sitting next to my computer this morning. She's like, what's that? I'm like, remember this? And she took a whiff and she's like, that's a weird one. I was like, yeah, it's High Octane. They also make a soap called Low Octane also. But I believe that the High Octane is more of a jet fuel scent. Like it says, it's funny because the helicopter is going over right now. But I figure, you know what? As we're going into the weekend, why not go for some High Octane? Yes. Like it says, for me, it reminds me of the fuel that I used to use in my remote-controlled helicopters and the nitro trucks and cars I used to dilly-dallying in the 90s. That was kind of my hobby back in the 90s. Was remote-controlled cars, trucks, helicopters, but the ones that took fuel, not like the electric ones. I had those too, but it was more of the nitro-powered ones. And the nitro fuel, I remember it was expensive. It was like $45 a gallon. I could only imagine how much it is now. All right. High Octane by Red Leaf. Very nice. And like I said, I went on the Etsy page last night, still there. Seems that everything's in stock. I believe he has like over 12 different scents. You can either get him in the cube style, or you can get him in this container. Very nice. And like I said, I guess the label wasn't, I don't know if he changed his labels, but the label that I had there wasn't waterproof. And when I lathered up in the container, like I used to do back in the day, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't like to do that anymore because sometimes it just doesn't dry right and you get funk going on in the container. Plus then you have to leave it open and let it dry. And I have cats in the house, so I don't want any of that, cat dander getting in there or anything like that. So High Octane by Red Leaf. Yeah, I remember I spoke to the owner about 3 years ago. I believe his name was Eric. Because I was looking if he had an Instagram page. Because when I post my videos, I usually also post them on Instagram. And I remember he sent me this soap. And when I got it, I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I should have just went back on his Etsy page and bought the matching splash, which I think I'm going to do as soon as I get done with this video. Because it is a scent I do like. Because it's unique. It's not off-putting. Well, at least to me it's not. It does have that masculine scent. I mean, come on. Jet fuel as the main on the website for the description. Very good. Very good slickness too. Like I said, when I first saw the soap, it has that like glycerin based look to it, but actually it's coconut oil based. There's glycerin in it also, with some other goodies. But yeah, nice. Wow, that slickness is good. Definitely good slickness. All right, let me just stop there because I'll shave the skin right off my face. Let me wipe down my counter because I spilled my water that I soaked my brush in kind of right before I hit the record button. Alrighty, let's empty. Actually, let me see if I can just break up some of this awesome slickness. It is very slick soap, very affordable. You could scope out. I will leave his Etsy page down below because I don't remember the price off the top of my head. Shame on me. Alrighty, let's empty good old Sigmund the Sea Monster sink. And we'll switch over to some nice cold water. It's actually pretty cold. That's because the nights have been nice and cool here in New Jersey. Still in the upper 80s during the day, but nighttime it's nice and cold. Alrighty, so let's recap the shave real quick. I know the label's in crappy shape, but that was High Octane by Red Leaf. I know it's kind of labeled all busted up, my fault. Oh, that feels good. And we used the Twig by Leaf razor today. And brush was the BrushCraft Sea Glass. I actually did a quick rinse. So there's the knot on that. It's a 2-band Badger. BrushCraft, I know they're on hiatus, but it is a favorite brush of one of my favorites. My buddy Josh sent me that brush. And we whipped up that in the Captain's Choice Sandstorm bowl. Just scraped some off the puck with my little scraper. Put it in the bowl, soaked a little bit while I was in the shower. And yeah, am I forgetting anything? Oh yeah, blade in there was the Crown half blade. Now I don't have the matching splash. They do make a matching splash. I got something that'll probably complement it. Some Barbedeaux. This is kind of a high octane aftershave. I know it kind of has a little bit of a citrusy drop down, but when we first put it on, you get hit with that alcohol, and wow, that'll definitely wake you up. It's also good if you have a rough shave, which I did not have a rough shave. I just picked this because I know that this is kind of a neutral scent or a kind of a high alcohol contented scent. Barbedeaux, made in Georgia. Oh yeah, and I believe that Red Leaf is in Seattle, I think, if I remember correctly. That was good stuff. So folks, if you enjoyed today's Red Leaf high octane shave, I know it's a weird one, but it's good soap. Thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit that dislike button. And please subscribe so we can have a Karen towel giveaway, which I forgot to totally towel myself off this time, but hey, high octane, baby. And please subscribe so we can have another giveaway for a towel. And stay safe out there. Please subscribe. I don't know how many times I'm going to say please subscribe. But anyway, until next shave, have a good weekend. And Glenn's signing off.